Hi, in this video we will try to understand sperm mitochondrial membrane potential. So, this is the figure. For now you just understand if the low mitochondrial membrane potential is, then you will be observing this using JC1 stain, which shows green in color, and high mitochondrial membrane potential, which is in red color. So everything we will be discussing in the upcoming videos, or in the same video in the upcoming slides, what JC1 thing is for the conformation of mitochondrial membrane potential. So sperm middle piece contains mitochondria mainly, and other structures you can see where, and mainly there are three structures, that is head, midpiece and tail, which contains DNA, mitochondria and microtubules respectively. So now in this video we will be concentrating on this midpiece, which contains mitochondria. So these mitochondria play a critical role in energy production, and whose proper operation ensures the reproductive success. Sperm progressive motility is strictly related to mitochondrial membrane potential and consequently to mitochondrial functionality. So progressive motility means sperm that are swimming in a mostly straight line or in a very large circles. Structural and functional alterations are usually found in mitochondria from asthenozoospermic subjects. For example, these are the subjects with progressive motility less than 32, which is the set criteria by WHO for the progressive motility. So it is an infertility condition in men wherein in man produces sperms with low motility. So how sperm obtains energy? Human spermatozoa rely mainly on two metabolic pathways to obtain energy, that is anaerobic glycolysis and mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation. So anaerobic glycolysis is produced in fibrous sheath of the flagellum, whereas mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation happens in mitochondria, which is located in sperm midpiece. So mainly we will see about the mitochondrial part. So synthesis of ATP requires the coordinated operation of two main components, that is respiratory chain and ATP synthase. These both are located in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So mitochondrial chain, respiratory chain, is involved in the transport of reducing equivalents from some electron donors to the molecule of oxygen with the final formation of water, and the energy released from these oxidation or reduction reactions is used to drive the synthesis of ATP from ADP. Mitochondrial membrane potential can be considered as a potential regulator and indicator of sperm motility. So, not only motility but also several essential sperm functions require ATP as an energy source. In particular, low activity of sperm mitochondrial enzymes, including electron transfer chain complexes, also correlates with sperm parameters such as decreased concentration, vitality and motility. The importance of mitochondrial functionality was also extended to hyperactivated motility and to the strictly associated phenomenon of sperm capacitation, which is characterized by an increased inflagellar blend amplitude and usually beat asymmetry. Loss of mitochondrial membrane potential in spermatozoa is correlated with high levels of reactive oxygen species in semen, abnormal spermiogram parameters, and low success rates in the in vitro fertilization. So mitochondrial membrane potential is denoted by this symbol that is shown in the title. Methodological approaches to assess mitochondrial functions. So there are three ways to assess this, that is spectrophotometric assays, polarographic methods or cytofluorimetry. Spectrophotometric assays are used to measure the activity of specific enzymes involved in mitochondrial metabolism. Polarographic methods measures the rate of change in oxygen concentration in solution. Since oxygen is the final electron acceptor of the respiratory chain, it provides a direct measurement of mitochondrial activity. And third method is cytofluorimetry, which estimates membrane potential across the mitochondrial inner membrane, but it is an indirect method of assessing mitochondrial respiratory activity. However, just a second. Okay. In clinical studies, mitochondrial function is generally monitored using cationic fluorescent probes such as MitoTracker or JC1. So, MitoTracker or JC1, these are types of luminescent molecules can be used to selectively stain mitochondria in the sperm cell middle piece, depending on the mitochondrial membrane potential, and they can be used to discriminate cells with active and non-active mitochondria. With respect to MitoTracker, JC1 has the peculiarity of creating agglomeration that shifts the emission wavelength, which demonstrates that both human sperm motility and viability are associated with MMP. So, for this reason, we will see about JC1 stain and its importance. So, this is scientific name of this dye, that is 5566 tetrachloro 11 33 tetraethyl benzimide. Okay, we'll try to see this name, tetraethyl benzimidazole carbocyanine iodide dye. So it has been developed to detect mitochondrial membrane potential in healthy and apoptotic cells across multiple cell types such as neurons, myocytes and endothelial cells, and so many. So JC1 dye is a lipophilic cationic dye which is naturally exhibiting green fluorescence, but also it's able to, okay, where is this, okay, it able to enter into the mitochondria where it accumulates and starts forming reversible complexes called J aggregates. These J aggregates exhibit excitation and emission in red spectrum instead of green. So in the red spectrum, that is maximum at 590 nanometer. So thus in healthy cells with the normal mitochondrial membrane potential, the JC1 dye enters and accumulates in a energized and negatively charged mitochondria and spontaneously forms red fluorescent J aggregates. By contrast, in unhealthy or apoptotic cells, the JC1 dye is retaining its original green fluorescence. So what is the use of this dye in apoptotic studies? JC1 dye can be used as an indicator of mitochondrial membrane potential in a variety of cell types, including myocytes, neurons, as well as in intact tissues and isolated mitochondria. In unhealthy or apoptotic cells, the JC1 dye also enters the mitochondria, but to a lesser degree, since the inside of the mitochondria is less negative because of increased mitochondrial membrane permeability and consequent loss of electrochemical potential. Under this condition, JC1 does not reach a sufficient concentration to trigger the formation of J aggregates, thus retaining its original green fluorescence. So, JC1, which is the marker of MMP, that is mitochondrial membrane potential, the red or green fluorescence ratio of the dye in the mitochondria can be considered as a direct assessment of the state of the mitochondria polarization, whereas the higher in the mitochondrial membrane potential, the more elevated is the red shift of the dye, that is, the more J aggregates are formed. Okay, so if the ratio is high, it means red shift and more aggregates are formed, which shows the healthy condition of the mitochondria. Thank you.